Alright guys, this is a no heat call and in a customer's basement. There's the water here. This is an old G16 Lennox gas furnace, as you can see there. And what I found bad was this robertshaw ignition control module. Basically, if you guys are aware of it, there's a small little circuit board inside the blower compartment, and when there's a call for heat, it shoots 24 volts to the ignition control. It goes through your fan limit switch right here, and it goes through your pressure switch right above this area here. You may not be able to see, it's bad lighting here, guys, sorry. You got an inducer motor right in there. This is an induced draft furnace. Once the limit switch is closed, well, it should be closed, and the pressure switch closes when there's a call for heat, it then sends 24 volts to your TR terminal, which is right here. TR. And after, I think it's like a 15-second delay, you should get 24 volts to PV, which stands for pilot valve, because this furnace does have a pilot. See the pilot tube in there? It is spark ignition, however. So MV is for your main valve, PV is for your pilot valve. This right here that says MV/PV, that is your common, and then you got your ground connection. TH is your 24 volt common going back to the circuit board. There's your sensor, and here's your igniter wire. So basically, on a call for heat, 24 volts comes out of the fan board, goes through your limit switch, pressure switch, energizes the control board here at TR, and it will shoot 24 volts to PV. It'll open up your pilot valve. Once your sensor, that's detecting the pilot flame, senses flame, it will, after I think about a 10-second delay, send 24 volts coming out of MV, which will open up your main valve and open up your burners. And that's pretty much all it is to it. So if you got, like in this case, I had 24 volts to my TR, so that tells me that my thermostat's good, my limit switch is closed, and my pressure switch is closed. And I had 24 volts coming out of PV, and my pilot was lit, but it just stood there, which is the pilot. No main burner action. Reset the power, kicked it back in, and did the same exact thing. So that's how I knew I didn't get any 24 volt output to my main valve on my gas valve through your MV terminal. And that's pretty much it. I replaced this one with a Lennox, that's upside down, 30W33, which is a universal replacement. It's a Honeywell control board. And again, guys, sorry for the lighting, it's pretty bad here. And that's your replacement. And it's the same thing, just modified. See, you got your MV. Let me get it focused here for you guys. You got your MV, MV/PV, which is your common. MV is your main valve, PV is your pilot valve. You got your ground connection, which goes to the metal framing. 24 volt ground, which is basically your common, the brown wire, and then 24 volt. And then here's your spark. And the 30W33 kit comes with the ignition control board, a back plate, and it comes with a sensor. Always replace the sensor. I know a lot of technicians would just swap out the board and just keep the sensor. Guys, these things intermittently have issues. The sensor goes out. I always replace it with them. It only takes 5 or 10 minutes to do it. Pretty simple. So I got everything hooked up here, and let's fire it up and see if this bad boy fires up. Should. See? Here's our inducer motor. Our pressure switch closed. Then 24 volts goes through your main limit switch. And you can see it's powering up my ignition control board. And very shortly I should get some spark for the pilot. Let's see if we get it here. There we go. There's our pilot. It senses it, and now it's going to open up the main valves. Alright, obviously we got some alignment issues over here. That's why these top two burners didn't light up. You can see there's supposed to be these small, let me see with my light. They're supposed to be small. You see how lopsided they are? They're not very aligned. They're supposed to be small little brackets that go in between each burner to keep them aligned. And apparently somebody threw them away. I don't see them anywhere by here. So I'm gonna have to find something to align these burners so we don't get any rollout issues. But we do have ignition, and we are good to go. And that's all there is to it for the Spark pilot ignition control board. Pretty simple. Remember, guys, just 24 volt input at your, well, the old board here uses TR. You'll find a lot of these here. And make sure you get your 24 volt output to your pilot. You should have pilot. If you do, you should then get 24 volts to your MV, which is your main valve here on your gas valve. And if you don't, you just have a bad ignition control. If you hear this, if you get a 24 volt input to the board and the pilot's lighting and it just constantly sparks and sparks and sparks and sparks and doesn't turn on the main burners and doesn't quit sparking, you probably have an issue with your flame sensor. You might want to check your microamps going back. Alrighty, guys, well, let me go and get these burners aligned and finish up the service here. See you on the next one.